Hello everyone, and today we are going to be showing you 3 different ways that you can use this lovely holiday poinsettia stamp set. So we're going to just get started by opening up this package, and just stay tuned because we have 3 really fun projects for you today. 3 different ways that you can use the stamp sets to make them just super versatile for the holiday season. So let's start by just peeling off our stamps. We're going to be making a card first, and I just kind of want to see like how I want to organize all the stamps on the card, because I'm going to be using a lot of these like little floral things for the card, and I just want to line that all up before I actually start stamping. So like I said, I just want to start out by figuring out how I'm going to be laying out the stamps on my card, because I don't want to waste any supplies once I'm actually into the stamping and embossing powder. So I'm going to figure out what kind of pattern I like first and then go from there. Alright, to emboss on this card, I'm going to be using the embossing dabber that we have. And you can see in the upper left-hand corner, I have the card kind of planned out, so I can just, use that as a reference, and then take each stamp one at a time, use the dabber, put it on the card, and go from there. So I'm just dabbing the first stamp, and then I'm going to be stamping it onto the card. And then I'm taking this copper tinsel embossing powder that I have, and sprinkling that over the stamp, and then I'm going to shake it off, and use a heat gun. Or onto the cardstock. So when you're done shaking the excess embossing powder off onto the cardstock, you can just dump that right back into the packaging that it comes in and reuse that for the next stamp. And I know I said that I was going to use the heat gun right away, but I'm actually going to stamp and put embossing powder on all of my stamps, and then use the heat gun all at once at the very end. And so now it's just kind of a rinse and repeat method. We're going to just keep doing this with every individual stamp. And if you need to kind of clean up some of the excess embossing powder, you can use a clean paintbrush to just gently brush off any of the embossing powder that's left over on the card. So we're just gonna rinse and repeat, and when we get to the very end, I just love the way that this copper tinsel embossing powder looks when you get it. And I just love the way that this copper tinsel embossing powder looks when you get it on the card. It's just so like dimensional and shiny, and I just think it really adds like a super cool holiday touch to any card or craft that you're making with it. And then I had handwritten this phrase, "Season's Greetings," beforehand, and then I just put that on a cardstock backing, and now we're just going to use the 3D adhesive and glue that to the top of the card. I love just the copper shimmer that you have with, and I'm loving how this looks. I love just the copper shimmer that you have with that embossing powder, and how beautiful those patterns look when you kind of combine them all. So I'm super happy with this card. Alright, and for the next project, I'm going to show you how you can make a really quick and easy custom wrapping paper for any of the gifts that you have this season. And for this, I'm going to be using 3 different colors. You can see what they are right there. And we're just going to kind of alternate between those 3 colors with 1 stamp. And we're using the main featured stamp of this set, which is the poinsettia itself. And we're just going to, kind of stamp that along in a pattern, alternating the colors. There's definitely a lot of options for what you could do with wrapping paper, but I just kind of wanted to keep this simple, keep it just really cute, and I'm just really liking how this turned out. I love the 3 different colors. They're all similar in shade, but they're different, or they're similar in tone, but they're different shades, which I think is super pretty. And you could do a lot of different things with this, but I like just keeping it simple. Alright, and for the last project, we are just going to do some really easy gift tags. This set comes with a to and a from stamp, so that makes it really easy to just stamp it right on the gift tag and then write the person's name. But you can also use some of the florals and other embellishments that we have to make them custom and really cute. Die cut that we have that kind of cuts out the gift tag. And I am using this die cut that we have that kind of cuts out the gift tags for us, but you could use store-bought gift tags, or you could even just cut out a simple circle or a simple rectangle. Really any shape will work. as long as, yeah, the stamps fit on it and it is the right size for your gift. And don't be afraid to play around with different colors for this. Really, the sky's the limit. And don't be afraid to play around with different colors for this. Really, the sky's the limit. You can use, yeah, any stamps that you want, any colors that you want. You can really make these super custom to the person that you're making the gift for. Perfect.
Wow, you are whipping up this.
All right, and there are 3 different projects that you can make with our holiday poinsettia. All right, and there are 3 different projects that you can make with our holiday poinsettia stamp set. I'm loving how the tones all kind of go together with the muted greens and the muted burgundies and reds and the copper too. I just love the way this turned out. Let us know in the comments below if you try to make something with the stamp sets, and if you want to share with us what it is that you've made, you can always hit us with the hashtag #StampWithUs so that we can see what you have created. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.